Give me some directions to get to you. To get to you, ain't gonna waste my time. I know that we got connection. I think about you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing some meal prepping. I'm also going to bring you along and show you what's for dinner tonight. It is about 5:30 on a Monday night. My husband just left for work. He works graveyard tonight. I want to make sure I am still staying on track this week and having plenty of things for me to grab and go. I have a really busy week with work the next few weeks. I did not have a chance this weekend to do any meal prepping. I don't want to have any excuses, so we're going to do it today. What are we going to be making? First, for dinner tonight, I'm going to be doing some barbecue chicken and roasted sweet potato bowls. This is going to be a sheet pan meal. If you are low carb or keto, then go ahead and substitute radishes for the sweet potatoes. Roasted radishes are absolutely amazing. You can still use the same seasonings and stuff I'm going to show you. So you can go ahead and substitute that. So I'm going to throw that together. And then for meal prepping, I'm going to be making some chicken tacos, which I'll be having for lunches this week, as well as leftovers from dinners. I'm going to prep up some veggies that I want to have for hummus this week. Of course, I'll be making some protein pudding. I'll show you the two flavors that I'll be making this week for that. I'm going to cut up a watermelon. I'm going to be making some bagel thin breakfast sandwiches. And then if I feel like doing any more, I'm going to prep the family's dinner for tomorrow so I don't have to do it tomorrow when I get off work, because I have another sheet pan meal or one pot meal. I'm not sure which one I'm going to make tomorrow that I'll be making. And so I want to make sure I have like part of their dinner prepped, because the Swedish meatballs takes a little bit longer to make with the meatballs and whatnot. So I thought I would go ahead and put all those together if I feel like it. We'll see how I feel. I've had a long day. So we'll see if my energy level kind of goes down. We'll just go from there. Okay, let's get prepping. Let's get dinner done. And I'm going to bring you along with me. All recipes that I have for any of the stuff will be linked down below. We are more comfortable now. I'm going to start with the meat for the chicken tacos because I'm going to put it in my Instant Pot and it needs time to cook. So I have my Instant Pot here. I'm just going to put in one of these packages of chicken breasts from Costco. There's two like big chicken breasts in there. I have some of my homemade taco seasoning, and then we have the salsa fresca like salsa. So I have some of this. I'll be putting some of this in there. And then while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and microwave these fire roasted veggies. I'm not going to use a whole bag. I don't know. Oh, this whole bag is the steamable. I know I needed these for a recipe this week, and I think it's my protein bowls that I will be having later in the week. Yes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cook up this whole bag, and half of it I'll use for these tacos and half of it I'm going to use later on in the week for a sheet pan meal. And these vegetables are these fire roasted veggies I get at Costco. These things are absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and cook these, cook the chicken, but then we're going to get started on the sheet pan meal. I just want to make sure this is going to take probably about 20-25 minutes in my pressure cooker to get that all done. So I'm going to get that going while I'm doing the rest of dinner. I have the two chicken breasts, 2 tablespoons of that taco seasoning, and then a cup of the salsa. I'm going to do the poultry and start that. So it's 15 minutes for the poultry, and that's on the high pressure. I'm going to go ahead and start on my dinner. Because the sweet potatoes take the longest of everything that goes in the sheet pan, I'm going to go ahead and throw the sweet potatoes and the onions in first. I like my onions to be nice and cooked and roasted. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part of the sheet pan first, and then once these have cooked for about 15 minutes, I'll scooch them over a little bit and we'll add on the broccoli and the chicken. For seasoning, I'm going to keep it really super simple. I'm going to do some avocado oil and some onion salt, and then I have this chipotle and roasted garlic. You can use whatever seasoning you want. I just thought this sounded really good with the barbecue, and I believe the recipe that I'm kind of basing this off of, which I will link down below, called for some kind of chipotle powder and garlic powder and all that to go in it. So I already had this one, so I thought I'd go ahead and use this one. I'm gonna go ahead and toss all this together, put this in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes, and then we'll continue on. I'm accurately tracking this. I went ahead and weighed out both the onions and the sweet potatoes separately. So I have 176 grams of sweet potato. So when I build my recipe in the recipe builder in the Lose It app, I will know exactly what to put in there. And I'll do that with the chicken as well. But that's just how I do this. And then I'll just put in 176 grams. And I think it was like 40 grams of onions. And so that's how I'll build it in that recipe builder. I am prepping my egg whites for my bagel breakfast sandwiches. I have a lot of people ask me why I only use just plain egg whites for my breakfast sandwiches. I have a couple of reasons. Probably the number one reason is because I don't like reheated scrambled eggs very well. And I don't want to use like a runny yolk egg because I need these to be easy to grab and go, not something that would make a mess. But like I said, I could scramble them up, and I do that occasionally, but sometimes they get a little rubbery. I just don't like reheating them. But also another reason is because using the egg whites are a lot lower calorie and you get double the protein. So I do 2 of these per breakfast sandwich, which gives me only 50 calories plus 10 grams of protein. I do love to eat full eggs, and you guys know I eat them all the time in the form of like hard-boiled eggs, so that's how I get the healthy fats from the eggs. But for these types of things, I just prefer to use the egg whites. So I have these 100% egg whites from Walmart. I'm using some onion salt, garlic powder, and red pepper flakes. I like to, put a lot of flavor in these egg whites so they're not so plain. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in the oven. Since the oven's already at 400 because of the other things I'm cooking, I'll go ahead and throw them at 400, probably for only about 5 minutes. I don't think it'll take any longer than that, but I'll just keep an eye on them and make sure they don't get overcooked. I'm getting the chicken prepped to go into the oven. I put on there, what did I put on? I have some garlic powder and onion salt, and then some of this sugar-free Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, which I've never tried before, but a lot of you told me that is amazing. So I went and weighed all of that out. And then in here I have my broccoli, which I seasoned the same as the sweet potatoes with the onion salt and the chipotle and roasted garlic seasoning and a little bit of avocado oil. So those are all ready to go. I'll brush this on when I get it onto the sheet pan. I have 34 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all that ready, and then I'll show that to you. Ready to go back into the oven. So this is the sweet potatoes and the onions after 15 minutes. And then now we have our broccoli and our chicken. I did kind of cut the chicken a little bit thin. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in for 15 minutes, check the chicken to see if it needs to go another 5. So depending on the thickness of your chicken, but already this looks amazing. When I serve this up, I'll probably add a little bit more barbecue sauce in there, but just for the cooking, I'm gonna put that much, and then that way I can measure out and be able to better track the total amount of barbecue sauce that's going into this. So this is gonna go back in for 15 minutes at 400. The chicken is done for the chicken tacos, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my mixer and get that all shredded up, and then we'll throw those together. Taco meat is all shredded up. I have some reduced fat 4-blend Mexican style cheese. I have some of these extra thin corn tortillas. And then I have those roasted veggies. I have my plate here on a scale. We're gonna bake these. So I have my sheet pan here. So let me show you what I'll be putting all on these. This is what I did. So I have the tortilla. I weighed out 1.5 ounces of chicken. I'm gonna have 2 of these for a serving. So I did 1.5 ounces of chicken, 14 grams of the veggies, and 14 grams of the cheese. That way when I have 2 of them, I have full serving of chicken, full serving of cheese, full serving of vegetables. Then I will fold these over, and then we're gonna bake them. So let me go ahead and put all these together, and then I'll show you a little trick to get these to, get nice and crispy and to stay folded over like this. So you can see here, these keep flopping open. Here is my suggestion to stop them from doing this. You can also make these in the air fryer. You'll notice in the air fryer the same thing will happen, so you'll have to put something on top of them in the air fryer as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold all these over. I already sprayed them with a little bit of olive oil cooking spray. I have my sheet pan here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on top of these. That way it'll hold them down, and then they can cook up, and the cheese is gonna hold them all together. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. I'm gonna go in 400 for about 10 to 12 minutes or so. Time to put together the breakfast sandwiches. I have the egg whites here, came out perfectly. I have the bagel thins. I'm gonna be using some of this mesquite smoked turkey breast, and then I have the egg white cheddar cheese. This is my favorite cheese for breakfast sandwiches. I use both foil and parchment paper, have it on my scale so I can weigh out the meat. The reason why I use both foil and parchment paper, 2 reasons. One of them is sometimes these go into the freezer if I don't eat them all through the week. The parchment paper kind of adds another layer of protection from getting like freezer burnt. Also, the way I heat these up is I put them in the air fryer, and the parchment paper kind of steams up. I just put the whole thing in there, foil wrapped up and all, throw it in the air fryer for about 10 to 15 minutes to let it get all heated up and the cheese melty, and the parchment paper kind of steams them. It comes out perfect every time. And this is how I assemble it. So I have 2 of the egg white patties on the bottom. I did 2 ounces, which is a serving of the meat. I have the cheese on there. I'll just pop the top on there and wrap it all up, and that'll be my breakfast for the week. One of my breakfasts for the week. For this week's protein pudding, I'm gonna do the sugar-free butterscotch and the caramel. I think that will be a really good combination. It's just 1 box of the Jell-O, 1 thing of a protein shake. Some people don't like the thickness of this protein pudding, so some people use 2 protein shakes per 1 box, and some people just thin it out with a little bit of almond milk, or just add a little bit of almond milk for the extra, to thin it out a little bit. But I prefer the custard-like texture of it, but a lot of people don't. So just a warning that it does come out really thick. Chicken tacos are out. I forgot to mention to make sure you grease the bottom part of that sheet pan that you put on top. That way they don't stick, because that will happen. But I'm gonna let these cool before I move them to my meal prep containers. Also, dinner is done, so I have the barbecue chicken, the broccoli, and the sweet potato and onion. So I'm gonna make myself a little bowl here. And here is my dinner. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? I'm gonna go ahead and have this, and let me turn the camera around and close up this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and close up this video. I'm not gonna do any more meal prepping. The only thing I did not do was the cutting up the watermelon and prepping the veggies. And I already had said I was only going to do the Swedish meatballs if I felt like doing it, but I am tired. It's 7 o'clock. I am ready to just sit down, eat my dinner, take a shower, and just relax for the rest of the night. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this sheet pan dinner and what I did prep for the week. And I will see you guys on probably Thursday or Friday for my what I ate this week video. And all these recipes will be down below. If you're not subscribed, please do so. I do lots of these types of videos, cooking, and I do hauls and all kinds of things. So check out all my other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.